Hey everyone, Sheila here from Lifewithpets. So today we are going to put our divider to the test. Will it pass or will it fail? What we decided to do is to see if our divider could be used for other purposes, not just for dividing maybe a betta fish tank, which is predominantly what it is used for and what it was designed for. However, we do them without holes, and then we also have them with holes. And for those of you that don't know much about them, I will leave a link in the description box below. We do them for 5.5 gallon tanks, 10 gallon tanks and 20 gallon long tanks, and we will be running Thanksgiving Day sales starting on the Friday after Thanksgiving and running all the way through to Cyber Monday. So make sure you go on over and check that out. So I want to run a test on this. I'm going to set up another tank and we're going to go take a look at that. I have already set the tank up and I'm going to explain to you what the test is that I want to run. I'm going to do it for about 3 to 4 weeks and see what the results are, and then in the end of the video we'll come back and we'll take a look to see whether it passed or failed. So let's go take a look at the tank and I'll explain to you what I'm planning on doing and the test I want to run. Okay, so this is the tank. It is a very simple setup. It is a 10 gallon tank and the divider that we're using is the no holes divider, and the reason for that is I wanted to test this tank out for guppies. I wanted to see if we pulled out our guppies at a fairly young age of about a week to 2 weeks of age, whether the divider would keep them separate. That is basically what I have done. And so I have pulled them out at, I'm going to see if I can get the smaller ones. So those smaller ones there are about 2 weeks old, and so I've pulled them out and I've put them into this tank, and I'm going to see if any end up on the other side. On the other side I have males only, so I've done females on the right side and males on the left side, and we have, I think it's 8, I've got it all written down so that I've got definite numbers, but I think it's 8 males on the left side and then all the females on the right side. So as long as I know how many I've got for sure on one side, then I know the test will be okay. I've also added snails because I wanted to see if they could get up and over the top, to also just sort of test that out for keeping different colours separate. So I have the blue mystery snails and blue ram's horn snails on the left, and then I've got the ivory mystery snails on the right. I've also added in shrimp, and I want to see if the shrimp can get across into the other side. So again, I want to see whether the tank can be used for shrimp. If you wanted sort of 2 different lots of shrimp but you didn't want them mixing, whether they would be able to get through. Now with the shrimp, I do think that it will definitely hold the adults and maybe the bigger juveniles, but I don't, in all honesty, think it's going to hold the really tiny shrimplets. So I think for something like that, you'd have to silicone the divider in place as opposed to obviously doing it this way. Similarly with the newborn guppies, I also think with them as well that they will probably get through as well, because the divider is a really good fit, but there is a very small gap, or there can be small gaps, especially if it's not fitted correctly. Just think for very young guppies, it's probably not going to work out. However, I do think for what we've got in here, I do have high hopes, and obviously if it doesn't work, then at least I would know, okay, the divider won't suffice for that purpose. Now I do actually have the filtration switched off right now because I have several tanks in this area, and so it can be a bit noisy with the pump. So I've turned those off, so not to worry, they normally do have filtration. We have a sponge filter, corner sponge filter on the right side, and then just a smaller one on the left side. And with our dividers, we do recommend that you do use filtration on both sides. However, if you do a divider with no holes, then I would say that it probably would be okay not to have filtration on both sides, although you probably would want maybe an air stone just to promote water movement. So we'll come back in a few weeks and see if the divider did do its job. So it's been several weeks now and I am pleased to say the divider passed. We've not had any escapees on either side. We had 8 males on this side and we still have 8 males. All the shrimp did stay on this side. We've had none escape into the other side, which I'm so pleased about. Like I say, I do think the baby, like really tiny shrimplets would probably be able to get through, but we've not actually had any, so I can't speak for certain. However, the adult shrimps definitely didn't get through, so there were no issues with that at all. All the females stayed on this side, and in actual fact this is a different batch of females because the other ones got big. We've put some back in the other tank, and we've also shipped some out as well. So really happy with the result, that the divider did pass and that I can now separate my males and females, and then I know exactly what I've got, which obviously makes things a lot easier when you're shipping them. So the males have coloured up really nicely, and these possibly will go on sale over Thanksgiving, or we might do some of the juvenile ones that are in there with them. I don't know that I'm going to let the other two with the big yellow tails go yet, because I want to see them grow out fully. So we may let some of the juveniles go, but I'm not sure just yet, so we'll just have to see on that. I did get a new lens that I've been playing around with, and I'm going to try and put it on without making too much of a mess of what you're going to see, and I just want to show you some of the footage. So I'm going to put it over the camera now, and hopefully we don't mess around too much. And it is a macro lens, and I am so thrilled with this lens. Just look at that, guys. You can get in so much closer. And one of the reasons I got it was for the baby betta fish, but also just so that I could get in really close to the fish in general. You do have to be really close, so that's the only thing. If the fish sort of aren't literally almost on top of the lens, then it's very blurred. But I am so happy with this lens. If you're interested in it, I will leave a link in the description box below. I've already had a lot of people on Instagram asking me about it, because the quality of our photographs have changed so much and the video due to this lens. So I've put the camera back to normal now. The other thing I did notice with putting these in sort of separate male and female was that the difference in their growth, because they're now sort of obviously in a designated fry tank, then I have seen tremendous growth in them over the last 3 weeks, because I have been doing a lot more water changes on them, and I have been sort of feeding, I wouldn't say heavily, but they're getting a lot of really good food, and so they have grown immensely over the last few weeks. These are the snails that we actually got from Big City Bettas, and they have done so well. They're the ones that got lost in the mail for, was it 17-18 days, and I cannot believe how much they've grown since being in this tank. But like I say, we are doing an awful lot of water changes, so that's going to be helping as well. Alright guys, well thanks for watching. If you want to check out the divider, the link will be in the description box below. If you're not subscribed to this channel and would like to see more videos like this, then please do so, and we'll see you next time.